Well, Don, the Emissions Trading Scheme comes into force on July the 1st. Is New Zealand ready?
I don't think so. I don't think the mums and dads around New Zealand, the homeowners, have any idea how this is going to impact them. Farmers are finally waking up to the impact, and it is going to be severe. In fact, so severe that for the average dairy farmer, I know that 10% will be whacked off his bottom line this year just through the imposition of the new ETS charges.
Does the government fully appreciate the effect that the ETS is going to have on farmers?
I think they do, but they haven't been that clear on selling it to the country. They're saying consistently to the country, quite deceptively, that agriculture is not in until 2015. That is only the biological side of the emission profile of agriculture. We are in from July 1, like every other New Zealander, for our energy and fuel use. And of course, all the costs that go through the processing industry and distribution industry come back inside the farm gate. So we're of the mind that says $7,500 for the average dairy farmer this year will come out of his bottom line.
So what is the impact on a farmer?
The figures show that 24 cents will be their net profit per kilogram of milk solids this year on an average New Zealand dairy farm. 2.5 cents a kilogram is apparently the ETS cost that I'm told. That is 10%, so you actually have to say 10% off their bottom line, and that makes them much better than some other farming systems in New Zealand, like sheep and beef will have an impact on them as well, but very much subsistence farming. We're being taxed to give money to somebody else for a reason yet unknown. New Zealand is an unsubsidised agricultural producer. We're already at international gold standard in terms of that. We're now being told by the government that you need to jump higher, have an ETS, maintain our brands clean, green, 100% New Zealand pure. You've got to jump this ETS hurdle, you're going to get more money. Well, actually, subsidy-free farming hasn't given us a premium anywhere in the world, and that is an international gold standard. So I am a bit tired of the rhetoric from government, successive governments I might add, successive ministers of agriculture as well. They've all said this, and it hasn't put anything into the pockets of New Zealand farmers. What it's done is put a lot of bureaucracy around New Zealand, added cost to us, but I can assure you inside the farm gate it is not filtering.
What about countries that have an ETS scheme in place? I mean, look at Europe, which has got an ETS scheme up and running. How's it working for them?
Nothing, basically. Effectively, the European systems are very, very low level. They are really letting most of the emissions profiles of the industries we talk about in New Zealand off the hook. It is nothing like New Zealand. New Zealand is promoting an all sectors, all gases regime. We're the only country in the world doing it. The United States and Australia have put their emissions trading schemes on ice, and New Zealand always said it would harmonise with Australia. The national government has said it would be a fast follower, not a leader, but we still have a Minister of the Environment, a Prime Minister and a Minister of Agriculture continually telling us we've got to have this new system. Other countries have walked away. Why didn't New Zealand?
And the dairy industry has been accused of anti-competitive activity by those 30 US senators. You say it's going to cost them $20 billion over 10 years. Is that true?
Oh, they're gaming it, of course. They're lobbyists, no different to what I am, but we are subsidy-free. They are not. They obviously have a position they want to maintain, but New Zealand exporter companies like Fonterra actually assist US exporters with joint ventures. We actually help some of those farmers. They need to realise that.
So just finally, what's your take on the state of New Zealand farming? Is it in a good place?
We are at a point in time where international commodity prices have never been higher. Why is it we have farmers going to the wall in New Zealand? The only reason we have farmers going to the wall in New Zealand is because of excessive government costs encroaching on every gram of meat and every kilogram of milk solids and every kernel of grain. Most New Zealand farmers haven't been buying and selling land in the last 5 years, but what they have had to do is borrow to survive. This needn't have happened. We are world leaders. We are very low-cost producers. We did have the international gold standard in subsidy-free farming, but successive governments have put barriers to our profitability in place, and we are now marginal. We're into, as I said earlier, subsistence farming in many areas.
Don Nicholson, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.